PrepperNow. It is good to have you here. It is May 8th, 2024. This one's kind of a different one I'm doing tonight. Now, as you know, I don't like to get into the political, but this actually does have a lot of implications that I think people should consider and don't really know just how precarious the situation is for people living in the country right now as it pertains to a potential police state, okay? So I am a constitutionalist. That's kind of where I begin and end my politics, really, now. If it's constitutional, it should be adhered to, and if not, well, it can, kick it out the door. Everything you've seen about this whole January 6th thing has been effectively unconstitutional. We've got amendments against cruel and unusual punishment. We've got amendments against a quick and speedy trial, and all of that has been basically thrown out the window. And it's concerning because if they can do it to them, they can do it to you and me. And for everything and anything. So before I get into this, I want to tell you about a story which kind of parlays onto this. And, was it correct to go into the Capitol on that day? No, they should not have done it. They should have seen that things were getting chaotic and they should have left the area and gone home. Should our government spend as much of a resources as possible to find some Bud Light swill drinking Midwesterners who got a little caught away and taken up by the moments of the day? If there were some really violent people that did damage and stuff like that, sure. But, you can go back through history and find numerous other times when other people have done things. In fact, there is much more far left and left-leaning violence that has happened than anything like this. There's been numerous bomb attempts. There was one guy, I think it was a Puerto Rican nationalist in the 70s and a socialist and everything. I can't tell you exactly all of this stuff, but I can assure you that, some fat ass from Indiana who, was donning Trump gear and thought that he was be able to give Mike Pence a piece of his mind. Stupid, yes, but it shouldn't ruin their lives. And this is really kind of ruining people's lives. And as it just came out, there's actually a fifth person that has just gave a self-inflicted gunshot to himself and ended his life from Florida. His name is John Homel, Homol, 55 years old. Don't know anything much more. I don't know anything about his case. I don't know. But he did this at home, so obviously he was waiting for any kind of legal repercussions that were coming and was obviously very concerned, especially with, all the stuff going on. And, these people have had the book thrown at them. They have been treated in ways that, Turkish prisons would treat you. And, of course, it's all to make a point that you don't go against the Washington establishment. How dare you, challenge all of this and even put it out there that you would want to question anything. And this is all going to become more and more intense as things go on. Just today alone, there's been numerous stories of people saying, Joe came out and said, basically to the effect that Trump wasn't going to accept the outcome, and the Republicans have put together legislation in the House that will make it, basically make it so you have to be a citizen to vote, which, kind of seems like a no-brainer to me. We've talked here, there's actually a video by Tucker Carlson right now out there, I believe on his X account, talking about how there are laws that if a person doesn't know that they're unable to vote, if they come here and they're like, I want to be an American, where's my Democratic, welcome committee, and they promised me to be able to vote, according to law, if they don't know that is not something, then their vote is basically accepted. So I don't know about the absolute ins and outs of that. It is becoming more and more to light as people get more concerned about the integrity of things that are coming. I can tell you right now, if you really want to make the country erupt into a violent situation, take away the integrity of our most precious God-given birthright of popular sovereignty. And for those that don't know, that's a big word for voting, okay? And I know something about this. I taught American government for many years. I don't do it now. I teach other versions of history, but I was very well aware of, the constitutional principles and, supremacy clause and all the other stuff that you could throw out there. Am I a, constitutional lawyer that can cite, chapter and verse? No, but to the average, dodo head out there, I'm all right. I kind of know my stuff. And everything I've seen from this is concerning. It's concerning on many different levels, okay? So 1,425 people have been arrested on January 6th, with 2024 arrests running at almost double the rate of 23 and 22, DOJ says. Now, why is that important? Well, they're going after these people. They're really trying to set the tone that if you question things, and I don't think they did it right, but I also don't think they did it in a way where you have to ruin their lives. I think simple reparations and a mea culpa and maybe some community service. If they did any kind of property damage, if there's something violent, of course, they should get charges. But the problem is that all of this has gone into the realm of, how do I put it? It's really overdone. It's intense what some of these people are going through, okay? FBI has made 391 January 6 arrests since May 2023, 614 arrests since May 2022, according to the data. January 6 is the largest, most sweeping investigation in FBI history, one that DOJ leaders have pledged will continue unabated. DOJ has until January 6, 2026 to charge individuals before the statute of limitations expires. So, a couple more years, right? I remember when this was all going on, and a certain YouTuber who put out a video that has had people in the community talking, rhymes with Smangry Smepper, was going to go down there. And, he and I talk in the background very briefly, but from time to time. I have a great amount of respect for him. Actually, Jason turned me into a prepper after watching his version of Doomsday Preppers. I was living in New York City at the time, and I thought if that guy can do it deep in the city, I can do it in the burbs. Anyway, I digress. I lived at the time of J6 just 30, 40 minutes away by car and could have easily gone down there. But I didn't think it was worth it. I just thought it was a bunch of people going down to kind of get in the hoopla and Trump's. I've never gone to a Trump rally. I actually would be intrigued to see one, especially now, from a political science point of view. And that's the thing, I guess, it's so interesting, I find, is I don't look at this like other people. I'm not rabidly involved with anyone. All of these people are mortals. They're not Jesus Christ reincarnated. The only person I bow the knee to is Jesus Christ. I'm not going to bow the knee to any other person on this planet just because they have some kind of an officialdom or title, okay? And that can be anyone. It really doesn't matter. It's called natural law. All of these are laws that have been given to us by God, and they are natural. They're not set in stone or written on law. They're so immutable and so everywhere. so ubiquitous that they don't even need to be written down. They're just known. And everybody knows that. Okay? So this whole thing is really just kind of twisted my nuts. For a long time, I've never really talked about it. But I mean, it really, what concerns me the most, folks, is this is the kind of front step into the mansion of absolute, total, dictatorial authoritarianism. Okay? It really is. When you can chuck a grandma into a cell for a year and a half, 2 years, and not get them even to a trial. And not, I mean, I understand with Rona things were backed up, but all of these people should have had their day in court. All of them. And there's people that still don't have their day in court. Okay? And they're waiting. Like this guy, this homo guy, 55 years old, probably sitting there going, my life is ruined, and he takes his life. Now, I don't know what the guy did. Maybe he did something terrible. Maybe he deserves everything that would have come to him. I don't know. But how am I supposed to if the guy is still years, I mean, we're talking 2.5, 3 years after, and the guy has still not had like any kind, I mean, you know, as far as I know. So this opens the door for authoritarianism, and that is the problem. That is why I look at these, and again, I haven't really talked about it, but absolutely concerning to me. Only 2 defendants were arrested over the past month for corruptly obstructing an official proceeding. Most commonly charged January 6th felony now affects 355 people. Controversial charge currently before the U.S. Supreme Court. So what people are getting charged with might not even be a chargeable offense. They might just kick it out, and I hope that the Supreme Court does do that. Maybe it'll alleviate the docket. Maybe it'll make it so people will get their day in court if they're doing all these questionable charges on people. 36% of defendants, 510, have been charged with assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers or employees. More than a quarter of those involved use of a deadly or dangerous weapon, the report said. Now, as far as I remember, there really hasn't been anything that was found that went pew-pew there. In fact, the guy that had the BOMB, they've never found anything from that guy. They don't know who he is. He's just another random dude that just magically got away. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Have there been charges for like weapons, like, you know, arms, like handguns and stuff? I don't remember that. So this is confusing, first and foremost, but second of all, it's concerning. If you're violently assaulting people, yeah, you should get charged. If you're, I mean, what's a deadly weapon? Was it just like a stick in the guy's hand, and they're like, sweet, you know, this guy can, I mean, maybe the person got it because they were worried that the people were bum rushing and they were going to need it for self-defense. I don't know. You know, I mean, this makes it sound like it was some kind of a friggin' scene out of Braveheart, you know? You can never take our stick, but you take our freedom. You know, that kind of thing. Like they're all over there like, you know, hold. You know, I mean, seriously. Of the 199 defendants who have gone to trial, 82 were found guilty. 199 defendants have gone to trial. 200 in back of the napkin math, somewhere around 850 days, if back of the napkin math is correct. 200. So you can't lump these people together for similar charges. You can't do a plea deal. You know, why must these people's lives be absolutely ruined because they were going to what they thought was a political rally? Really? You know, and we've been through and we've litigated all the Trump involvement and all that, and, you know, the idiocy of all that. Oh, my God. Dun, 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 dun. You see these things? These are called stink bugs, and they're freaking everywhere around here. I'll take them over cicadas, though. See, look, he's coming. Get away, bud. They can fly too, and they're called stink buds for a reason. I take them, collect them in a bottle, and I just feed them to my chickens, and it's very satisfying. So every defendant who opted for a jury trial has been found guilty of at least some of the charges. Only 3 defendants have been acquitted of all charges. Those cases involved bench trials. So, I mean, that's an impressive record if you think about it. I mean, there's people that have been burning down American cities for the last few years in the name of social justice, and most of them have been gotten off, slaps on the wrist, only to go out and do very heinous crimes again in a lot of situations, sometimes to female, and our weakest and most vulnerable among us. But I think you get the point. Supreme Court said on December 13, 2023, that it would take up January 6 defendant Joseph Fisher's challenge to use of 18 U.S. Code Section 1512, Section 2 or C2, to prosecute January 6 defendants for obstructing Congress's tallying of electoral college votes. I do remember also people like my esteemed Representative Mr. Raskin saying that they wanted to disrupt in 2016, saying that things had gone and were not following constitutional principles in a very similar way that was going on with all this. It just wasn't a political rally on the front lawn. But if the High Court strikes down the use of the law for January 6 applications, it could upend the aforementioned 355 cases and land a blow to the DOJ's prosecution effort. Now, first and foremost, all of these cases against Trump are being wiped away, kicked out, redone, extended, and I bet vast majority of them are just going to be ended. They're going to be stopped. They're going to be, put up to dry. Why? Because there's nothing there. The whole purpose of it is lawfare. What's lawfare? Well, it's just to wrap you up in court so you spend all your money and you eventually just, dwindle away. You want to talk about good legislation? Let's get some legislation that stops lawfare. How about that? I know a little something about the legislative process. You want to make something happen? I mean, there's solutions to all this stuff, folks. People just want to find them. You want to stop all this crap? Let's end lawfare. Let's make it that we don't litigate everything and wrap people up in mindless trials because some bought and paid for super left fuck judge, pardon my French, has decided that they're going to waste our taxpayer money. And it is a freaking waste. It's aggravating. And what does it do in the ultimate scheme of things? What does all of this do in the ultimate scheme of things? It doesn't change anything, and it makes people distrust the system more. If your political party is so friggin' kick-ass, why do you need to perform lawfare to win? Pretty simple question. I would think that they'd do it like we used to do it when I was growing up, where you had the better political platform, you sold people on it, and then they came out and voted for you on a rainy day in November as they stood in line at a local church, school, or otherwise. So, I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of reading these things and hearing stories and all this. It's just political crappy theater that could be totally avoided, and the ultimate scheme of it is going to ruin the country. They're literally going to dismantle all of the constitutional principles that were put in place because some highfalutin judge or lawyer or whatever has decided they want to make a name for themselves and commit lawfare on all of this. So they can take people to court and get their name in lights and whatever. Meanwhile, people are saying, what's the point? Me included. Clearly, if you had been around, even I've said, what's the point? So, Hudson Valley, thank you, brother. I mean it. Yeah, I'm just kind of done with this crap. Appreciate you, bro. Seriously, I said this to you the other day. I love the YouTube family. and the YouTube people, because it's put great people in my life like Hudson here. Okay? If you're not subscribed to Hudson, please do it. Angry had a great video today. I wasn't going to reference it. I thought about doing a video on it. I'm not, but I'm going to just wrap up here real quick on it. He basically called some channels out for doing the hyperbole and crap. If you've been around, you know I don't really like to play into that too. I just want to tell you what's going on. You know, I'm going to get animated, but no one's going to get off of my stream and get hit with a nuclear weapon or any crap like that in any kind of a foreseeable future. You know, I mean, could we go to a world war? Yeah, I think we're in the precursors to it, but we're not here on this channel because we're trying to, you know, I want a community. I do. But as you know, I don't sell any products. The products I sell, you're going to find here in about 5 minutes on the Crisis Report, which is just the best and most comprehensive news on the wars that you will ever find because, well, I've figured out a way to do it. And if you want to figure it out and see things for yourself, you can follow the many links that I provide in my Substack. So, Hudson, I appreciate you, brother. You know that. All my mods, thank you. Please, folks, be careful out there. This is a slow trip that is going to become a fast trip to authoritarianism. I tell my students all the time that 20 years ago, in 2004, the richest country in South America was Venezuela. And now it is an authoritarian nightmare, and people kick in the gates of zoos to hunt and kill the zoo rhino and other animals like Arabian show horses just so they can get meat to eat. It is not a far path to hell on earth. So that is not to be hyperbolic or anything. It is just the God's honest truth. So to all you that are here, please consider subscribing if you have not. And if not, I get it. Just go forth and prosper. Thanks to everybody. We're going to take it on over to the Crisis Report now, where I'm going to read you it's not a big report tonight. There's not a lot going on. People are still kind of stunned. But there is a late thing about Joe saying he's going to turn off the faucet to Israel, and the Israelis are freaking pissed. But I put out a post on my members here in my other channel that got to read about that, about where things are going. So if you were thinking about becoming a member, it's a great way to support. It's a couple bucks, less than a coffee. And you get a little bit of information before the rest of the class. And then, of course, there's other links in the description. By the way, real quick, I just want to tell people, when after the video hit today, I wanted to do a video of my favorite not little channels, but like channels that I think need more. So I'm going to go around real quick. One of the people that text me in the background, and I, you know, like I said, I talked to Hudson Valley, I talked to Angry from time to time, and Steve Prepperdog. Prepperdog, for those that don't know, contact me and was kind of chuckling and having a moment. If you have not subscribed to the Dog Report, I highly recommend that. He is a really good dude. He's down in Georgia. He's a Georgia dog. That's why he calls it. But he does great stuff. It's like someone said in the comments to Pinball's video, it's like talking to an old friend. So check out him. Hudson Valley Preparedness, of course. He does great videos. Also, he's got a great side. I don't know if it's a side hustle or if it's a real hustle, but training people for survival and stuff. He and Mr. Livingston, I presume, are great. Go on over and check them out. Northern Girl Hobbies is a mod of here. She is usually, and Hudson, put your link in the description, dude. And if you want to put Northern Girl Hobbies as well, she is fantastic too. She just goes straight prepping now because she's in occupied Canada stand, so she can't really get controversial anymore. But she is a freedom fighter. She is probably, I mean, you want to talk about a female that's going to last the next, like, major, you know, SHTF. She's going to do it. She's the real deal Holyfield. So please check out Northern Girl Hobbies. And also another one who doesn't do as many videos, but she's kind of had a tougher last year because she moved, and now she is settled and she's starting to do more And I just want to know that I'm thinking about her because she had a great mojo rolling, and then she got hit with, the usual crosswinds. And that is a girl by the name of Prepping by Faith. Okay? Prepping by Faith. Christian, but great stuff. She's a homemaker and has a wonderful family. They moved and now is in the Dakotas. But she has a great channel too that I really wish would grow because she's a good human being. I've had the grace of talking to her in the background as well. So, but you know the rest. You know all the good people. Magic's awesome. Alaska's awesome. Bear Independent is, he's probably cleaning up tornado stuff right now. These are good people. Pinball, of course. These are all good people that I've been blessed to at least have a little bit of a run-in the background. So check out the channels I just mentioned if you are not subscribed. I highly recommend all of them. But on that note, we're going to take it on over to the Crisis Report. And if you haven't subscribed there, check that out. youtube.com/@CrisisReport. And I appreciate all of you. God bless you all. We'll see you over there in about 2-3 minutes.